Today we're going to learn about two special angle relationships, complementary angles and supplementary angles. Complementary angles have a sum of 90 degrees. You can remember that because you would complement somebody who's right. Supplementary angles have a sum of 180 degrees. We're going to use that to solve these problems at the bottom. If we look at the first picture, we have two angles. One here is 42 degrees and the other one is shown as 3x. They're definitely not equal. You can tell just by looking at them. One is obtuse and one is acute, but they're also not vertical angles across from each other. So we know they're not equal. They don't make a right angle because I don't see that right angle box. So they must be supplementary, which is true because they form this straight line. So this angle plus this angle make this straight line. So as an equation, we're going to write the sum of the two angles, 3x and 42, is 180. That's the hardest part, writing the equation. From there, you can use the steps to solving equations. We're going to subtract 42 from both sides and then divide by 3. So this will give me 3x equals 138. And then we're going to divide both sides by 3, which is 46. So the directions ask us to solve for x, and this is our answer. If we wanted to check our answer, we could do 3 times 46, which is 138. And we would just make sure that these two angles add up to 180, which they do. All right, let's try the next one. I'll change colors. These two angles, 3x and x plus 50, are not equal. Again, you can tell just by looking at them, but they're not vertical angles, so we know they're not equal. And they're not supplementary because they don't form a straight line, but they do make a right angle, and you can tell by this little box right here. This is your right angle indicator. So I'm going to show that the sum of these two angles is 90. We learned that when we solve equations, we can combine like terms that are on the same side of the equation. So x plus 3x is 4x. And then we're going to subtract 50 from both sides, then divide by 4. Those are my steps to solving two-step equations. So 4x equals 40, divide both sides by 4, x is 10. If I wanted to check that, I could do replace the x's with 10 up here, and 10 plus 50 is 60, and 3 times 10 is 30, and they should have a sum of 90, which they do, so pretty sure that one is right. All right, let's move on to example C. Here we have 3 angles. They're definitely not equal. They're not vertical. There's no right angle symbol, so probably their sum is 180, which is true. That angle plus this angle plus this angle all together form this straight line. So the sum of these 3 angles, 5x plus 5, plus the middle one, 105, plus the one on the right, 7x minus 2, all together have a sum of 180. So I'm going to combine all my x's. There's one, there's one. That gives me a total of 12 x's. They're on the same side of the equal sign, so I can add them together. And then I have all my constants, 5, 105, and minus 2, or negative 2. 5 plus 105 is 110, and 110 minus 2 is 108. Now it's just a two-step equation for me to solve. I'll do that by subtracting 108 and then dividing by 12. That gives me 12x and 72. Dividing both sides by 12 gives me 6. And if I wanted to check that, I could replace these x's with 6 to see what I get and then make sure that the sum of those 3 is 180 in fact. All right, last example. This one you'll notice doesn't have any variables to make equations out of. It's just simply asking us to find all of the missing angles. So let's use some of the things that we've learned. So you don't have to necessarily go A, B, C, D, E in that order. Do what's easiest first. I think looking for a right angle symbol is definitely the easiest way to go. Here's my right angle symbol, which tells me that these two angles together make 90 degrees. So let's go ahead and find a pretty color. Let's just do 90 minus 35 to get 55, and that's C. So we already have one. What else would be easy in this picture? Let's look for vertical angles. We love vertical angles. This angle right here is vertical to angle E. How do we know? Because they're across from each other when we make a big X like this. So that means they're equal. So this one's also 55 degrees. What else do we know? What else is vertical? Are there any other vertical ones? There are. There's this one and this one. So A and 35 are equal to each other because they are vertical angles. So this one is also 35. All right, what's left? Let's get B. There's more than one way you can get B. If this is a right angle over here, so is this. Actually, so are all of these, huh? So that means that these two, this one and this one, add up to 90 as well. So I could do 90 minus 28 to get 62 degrees. So this one's 62 degrees. That leaves me with one more. This one over here. Well, we know this one is 90. But let's say you didn't know for sure that if this was 90, all four of these were 90. You could also have seen that this plus this plus this make the straight line, right? So you could have done 35 plus 55 plus, what is that letter? D is 180. And then, of course, this is 90. And then we would just subtract 90 from both sides. We'd still get the same answer, but that's just another way of doing it. All right, you guys, that's it. Thanks for watching.